actually when I come back. So yeah, I forgot my mask. I was going to do the stairs, but I forgot my mask. So it is what it is. I thought I brought it. Must have forgot. Oh yeah, not must have. I did. Kind of a shame, but it's alright. No mask, so we couldn't really go crazy. It's 110 calories total. We're speed walking for 30 minutes. 110 calories. Well, yeah, the drill. Golden hour is pretty much golden hour. Right now, it's nearly done. Yeah, I should probably spray it before you put a hit on it. Really is empty today. So I guess the story video is time, but you just don't need to say like what is there to say? You know what I mean? Like seriously, what is there? You gotta explain to me like what is actually interesting. Because right now I don't see any. I mean, again, shoulder is like the easiest, right? Shoulder is the easiest. Not much to set up. Recently, yesterday the sun was not good at all. It was like cloudy and sunny, and it was super unreliable, very unreliable. It was not good, but oh well. This was. It's so cold. Probably should wipe that thing as well, because we're gonna use this thing too. Yeah, we're spending a lot more time wiping stuff now these days. Before we barely wipe stuff. Yeah, you know the drill right now. Like in your shoulder is just so simple, but effective, but efficient, but there's nothing to say. Should have finished the water too. I don't know. Dude, it's so boring. There's nothing to say. There's no topics. Yeah, so what was it? It's nothing. Really, it's nothing. Okay, well, there's not, dude. There's actually not. There's nothing left. There's no other story games left. We finished the Warframe thing yesterday. I mean, I could try the new quest today. I guess. Sure. There's nothing else though. You know. I guess we'll continue doing League. League of Legends. We've actually stooped, so we'll run out of so many things that League is like the next interesting thing. Alright, Legend, appreciate it. So yeah, we just go to you guys like a story video. But it's really, I don't know, man. Today's gonna be. I really want to get sun. Yesterday the sun was quite disappointing. But still kind of grateful, you know, that we actually managed to get like some kind of sun. Sometimes when it's like when there's no sun, and it's just clouds and rain, I'll just stay inside all day. I guess we can also do hunting and fishing again, but like, what am I supposed to catch? I already caught trout at the lake. I've already caught salmon. I can go sea fishing, but perhaps I'm too lazy to go sea fishing. Right, I'm too lazy to pack up things and go to the pier. I'm too lazy to you know be outside in the freezing cold and with the wind and the ocean and the pier. Like it's already freezing cold in the lake. The pier is gonna be like 10 times colder probably. Yeah. And I mean yeah, Ridgecliff is also gonna. I guess I could go sea fishing, but like sea fishing is the only thing left that I haven't caught a species. I guess. What other complaints are there on sea fishing? Oh yeah, the bait smells like shit. It will. It's only going to be like a short period in the morning though. But I don't know. I'll see about it. Right. Should probably do some more, but I'll see about it. I don't know. Maybe it's because maybe one reason of the peers because I don't like people too. That's also a good reason. That's also one of the reasons too, I guess. You could say that because the peers public to everyone. I mean, even everyone there is chill that I've met. They're pretty chill. They help you out too. Right. Oh, alright, I appreciate it. Alright, see you guys like later. We'll probably give you. No, not probably. I will give you a story video and stuff.
What's up, guys? I just woke up. We did like a 2-hour nap. I know, right? Insane. We did just do a 2-hour nap, so it's kind of insane, right? Too bad the sun today is terrible. It's cloudy and sunny, so it's not consistent, and that means the sun's not there. Righty ho. Let's begin the story video like I said today. Alright? Here we go. We're still continuing the 3 true disturbing vacation stories. We did the first one. The first one was not real. Second one was about the person in the cabins, Lock-in. Third one by Thomas.
Somewhere in northern Oregon when it happened. I don't remember the exact highway. It wasn't one of the main ones, just one of those empty back roads surrounded by miles of dense forest. I'd been driving for hours, with the music low and the windows cracked to keep myself awake. This was supposed to be a pretty standard road trip, I guess. Just seeing a few places, driving around, and clearing my head from all the noise. Nothing too exciting. I'd been paying relatively close attention to my gas gauge, checking every so often.
We just did this one as well. Yeah, we already did this one. Whoops, my bad. My bad. Okay, hold on. Let's go find a new one, shall we? 3 true alone at night horror stories, Lock-in.
When I was between 22 and 24 years old, I lived in a small, nice suburban neighborhood. I had a decent job and probably overpaid on my house, but it wasn't the biggest or richest area, just a standard, normal place to live. I really had no bad things to say about living there, but this one encounter pretty much ruined the entire area for me, and I genuinely don't think I'll ever fully get over how disturbing it was.
22, 24 years old?
I've always been somewhat of a night owl, staying up late and often would go for long, quiet walks once the sun went down and
Why?
everyone else in the neighborhood went to sleep.
Oh, okay.
It was peaceful and had a sense of solitude that I really liked.
Only if
This was
you're a guy, it's okay. But it says Justin, so you're a guy. So going out for a walk after the sunset, that's fine, as long as you. Nothing really wrong with that.
on one of those quiet nights where I took my dog Finn out for a long walk.
Oh, you got a dog as well, then you're all goods.
Finn was a 10-pound dachshund mix, and surprisingly quiet for his breed. Very shy and not aggressive or a big barker. We walked for an hour, winding through the empty neighborhood streets, enjoying the peacefulness and taking in the cold weather. To describe the way the houses on this street were, basically there was a large gap in between each home. There would be a house, and then a large grassy field, and then another house,
No fence?
and so on.
GG, no
At
offense.
night, those grassy fields between each home were pitch black because the lights from either house didn't reach that far. As we walked, I suddenly started to hear something through the soft winds. I stopped with Finn next to me. I heard it again. Across the street, in that void between two houses, I was hearing laughter. A girl, or woman, it was hard to know for sure, could have even been a kid, was somewhere in the darkness, laughing softly, like she was watching me from right there in the shadows. But
Keep
I
walking.
couldn't see a thing. After looking for 10 seconds, I got really uncomfortable and pulled Finn along to keep walking. A few minutes after, I was sure that it must have been a kid just laughing for no reason, probably living in one of those nearby houses.
I mean, you're a guy at nighttime with a dog, right? Don't think any kind of woman or child would be laughing at you. They'd be more scared of you.
Still didn't make all that much sense to me, but it was whatever.
Yeah.
Finn
my
and
voice
I
a bit-
walked for
Yo, my voice changed. Look at it. Voice is a bit more calm now because we have just woken up today. Huh. Yeah, my voice kind of did change. Kind of. I mean, I could always just bring it back to this.
another 20 minutes, eventually circling back around and going down that street again on the way back home. When we passed by the dark gap between the two houses where I'd heard the laughter from, the girl wasn't there. I didn't hear any laughter or voices.
Also, if you're gonna go walking in the dark, at least bring like some kind of flashlight, no? Like, I mean, sure, you can walk under the streetlights, but I mean, you should always have like a flashlight, maybe. Preferably a knife as well, or a gun, depending on your local area. Just saying.
Another 20 minutes later, we got home. It was so late, I didn't bother going through turning the lights back on. I just headed right upstairs with Finn, showering and getting in bed.
Okay, you lock doors, shut
Finn
doors.
slept in the room with me, usually burrowing under my comforter. I was really tired, but I was
Oh, that's
tossing
nasty. That's sorry. That must be really dirty, don't know? Unless you like. Isn't that kind of weird and dirty? Right? You take your dog for a walk. He be chilling, walking outside. You go home, you take a shower, and then the dog just curls up in bed with you. Did you like wash the dog or something? Cause he's dirty as fuck. What the hell? That's so disgusting. No. Oh, I just realized the hygiene and germs. Your dog be walking on everything, bro. On the sidewalk, in the road, in the dirt. Like, you gotta at least, like, wash his feet or something, right? He ain't got no shoes on. And he just gets into bed. Bro, even if you took a shower, you're basically sleeping with the... That's super dirty, you know? Oh, dog sleeping in the bed? Now I think about it, this must be really dirty, unless, like, the dogs stay at home, but still. Dogs can't even wipe their booty. So, like... What, they're just gonna rub their ass on the sheets and it's gonna be dog shit. Matter of fact, who sleeps with their dogs and cats? That must be so unhygienic.
and turning for a while. I don't think I was thinking about much of anything. I just didn't feel right, feeling the need to open my eyes every few minutes. It went on like that for a while, and I don't even remember falling asleep. I just remember waking up and opening my eyes hours later. The room was dark, and when I rolled over, I didn't feel Finn anywhere on the bed with me. I looked up and saw him sitting right next to the bedroom door, head tilted and ears perked. He didn't look scared or like he had to go to the bathroom, but something definitely had his attention. "Finn, you okay, buddy?" He looked back at me and then walked up to the side of my bed, turning back around and facing the door, then sitting down. He was still focused on the door. Usually if I called his name, he'd get excited and jump up on the bed, but this was really unusual. And then I heard it. The muffled, faint sound of laughter. The same quiet laughter I'd heard on the walk that night. I recognized it immediately. Because it was quiet and muffled, I thought the girl was outside my home, like right at the front door. I quickly got up and told Finn to stay, just to keep him quiet and safe, then walked out of the bedroom and closed the door behind me.
Why?
I went
Bring
to
it-
the stairs
bring
and
your dog
walked
with you.
down, then approached the front door and looked out the eye hole. The porch was empty. She wasn't out there. I kept looking for a whole 30 seconds, staring at nothing, because I was so sure that I'd heard her. But then she laughed again. It was louder, not muffled at all. She was inside my home. I turned around.
Bring the dog.
All the lights were still off, but right behind me was the opening to the living room. There was a woman outlined in the blackness. She was sitting on the couch facing right at me, and she had a smile across her face as she let out another horrifying, soft laugh when I saw her. I honestly didn't even know what went through my head in that moment.
Just
I'm
approaching.
even surprised that I didn't just faint from the sudden fear. I ran right up the stairs into my room, grabbing Finn and calling the police from the bedroom closet, hiding and hoping she'd.
But you're a dude. She should be more scared of you. You're a guy. What? Hey, what are you doing here? Should just bring the dog with you too, right?
Stay downstairs and didn't come chasing. From the closet, I couldn't really hear anything, which actually made it a whole lot more terrifying. I don't know whether she came upstairs or not, but 5 minutes later, when police came by, they actually found the woman walking down the sidewalk in the neighborhood. She stood out, being a 40-ish-year-old woman walking in the cold at 3 a.m. with nothing but a thin nightgown on.
Yo,
And
hold on
she
now.
was very clearly not well. They didn't find any weapons on her, but she had a history of violence and didn't even live in the area. She'd been unheard from for 2 weeks by her family 40 miles away, and I guess she had some issues. The family tried to claim she was sleepwalking and just followed me home and broke in without being fully conscious, but I don't know if I buy it.
How'd she get in?
I also don't know if she'd been stalking me for more than just that night, because the way they found she broke in was by smashing a window in the back of my house. Obviously, I would have woken up by that. So I'm thinking after I heard her laughing and watching me from the darkness across the street, she probably already knew where I lived and my nightly walking routine. So she watched me walk away, then broke into my home while I was still out. Which means when I got home, she was somewhere in the dark. Maybe even right there on the couch.
But before you go to sleep, you would check every window and door, so... You know, like, what?
Watching me as I went straight upstairs to go to bed. Whatever the case, it was all enough to keep her out of the public for a while.
Again, though, it's a woman. So, like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Just tell her to get out.
I never fully recovered from it though, and felt like I had to move out of that house.
Maybe just install some security cameras. You know? Maybe check your doors and windows before you sleep, you know? Maybe let your dog do more of the work, cause what's the point of the dog if you're not gonna let it, what's the point of the dog if you aren't gonna let the dog do its job? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, why would you close the door behind to keep your dog in? Just let him go for it.
That image of her on the couch quietly laughing with that hollow, emotionless, wide smile is so disturbing and creepy that I still haven't been sleeping well. I wake up constantly throughout the night, feeling like I have to look around and make sure I'm alone. Finn isn't exactly the best guard dog, but having him as a second set of ears to listen for anything makes me feel a little better. This all went down almost 5 years ago now. The woman was released and everything, but so far nothing else has happened. I search her name up every so often just to see, almost waiting and expecting something horrible, but thankfully it's been quiet.
Kind of just the person's fault, I guess. I don't know, but like, what's it again? Should have checked the window. Sorry too. Bye.
This
Anonymous.
happened, or I guess started happening, 3 months ago. I lived in a quiet town in a very average area. My house was at the end of the street on a cul-de-sac, and I honestly loved living there. I lived alone and spent most of my time working from home in my small office. The night this started, nothing was off at all. I worked a bit late and was feeling tired, so I went to bed early and fell asleep. When my eyes opened, I saw the clock on my nightstand said 1:50 a.m. The way I felt was as if my body had forced me to wake in the middle of deep sleep, so I felt very groggy and out of it. But I didn't know why I'd woken up so randomly, or seemingly so abruptly. Like it wasn't my body naturally waking up. My eyes slowly blinked, and I started to look around, until they fell on the door right in front of my bed. The bedroom door was open. Just cracked a few inches, but open regardless. Now, I don't think it's easy to describe how genuinely terrifying it is in the moment to wake up and see your bedroom door open, knowing you live alone in your house and always close and lock the door every night. Obviously, there's always a chance that I'd forgotten to close it or didn't close it fully, or whatever, but it was still absolutely unnerving. I got up from the bed quietly and walked over to the door. My heart was racing. I kept all the lights off, not trying to make myself known, in case of the worst scenario where someone really was inside my house. I opened the door further and looked out into the hallway. I stayed frozen there for an entire minute, waiting, listening, but there was nothing at all. Eventually, my courage built up enough for me to walk through the house, going room to room and just checking for anything else off. But it was just that one door to my bedroom. Nothing else seemed out of place. I went back to the room and played with the door for a while too, trying to see if there was something wrong with it. The fact that there was nothing else for me to go off of made this situation hard for me. I didn't know what else to do other than assume I didn't close the door all the way.
I mean, if you cleared your house, check the doors, check the windows. You know, if you check the windows, everything's locked. Cool. You check the door, it's locked from the inside. Cool. You swept the entire house. Cool. Then I guess it must have been the wind. But let me guess. You didn't actually check your house properly, did you? Did you actually sweep your entire house? Because if someone entered your house, they could lock it. They could lock the windows and doors again. So you can always, make sure you sweep the house properly, right? Again, though, it shouldn't be really. It's pretty easy to sweep a house. It just depends. Like, there's only so many places to hide. Depends on how much furniture and clutter you have, but hiding should be very easy. No, hiding should be very hard if you got nothing to hide on.
Even though I felt that was almost impossible. I got back in bed and eventually was able to sleep for the rest of the night. In the morning, oddly, I didn't think too much of it. I guess because there wasn't too much else to really think about. I did my usual, making coffee and relaxing for the first couple hours, and then working until 6:30. And again, nothing was off. I stayed up watching TV in bed and went to sleep around 10. In the middle of the night, I woke up similar to how I had the previous night. It was a little past 2 a.m., but the moment my eyes opened, the first thing I did was look at the door. It was open. I didn't even know how to react. This time was different because I was in my room wide awake watching TV for hours before bed, knowing the door was closed and locked before I fell asleep. I did the same thing, getting up and looking around the entire house. There was nothing else. I didn't know what to think. The door unlocking and opening on its own made no sense.
Then you must be opening yourself to take a piss. That happens sometimes. Yeah, I mean, what's the chances you just had to go to the bathroom and you just, unlock the door while you're half asleep because you're your body knows how to go to the bathroom, right? So it just wakes up, unlock the door, open it, take a piss. But at this point, why even close and lock the door? Just leave it open. You know?
Someone breaking in and opening it also didn't make sense.
Must have been the
After
wind.
an hour, I went back to bed, and I don't remember if I even slept that night. But for the next 3 weeks, this continued to happen.
3 weeks.
Not every single night, but I'd say 3 or 4 nights a week.
If that keeps happening, then like it's probably you just taking a piss, no? If it happens that often, it must be you just taking a piss. I don't know. At that point, I mean, like, again, if you sweep your whole house, windows and doors are locked, right? You should be fine. Honestly, it kind of depends on your door setup as well, because if you got like door chains and stuff, right? Then no one can enter your house, right? But imagine if someone could like, if you don't have door chains on your door, they could unlock the door into your house, open the door, then just leave without you knowing, and then relocking the door with the key. If you had door chains and deadlocks, then yeah, and also it depends on how your window's locked as well. You know, there are a lot of context missing, but it just really depends because if this happens more than once or twice, you got to think about, okay, if someone had a key, can they enter in and out without me knowing? If you had door chains, oh, hold on, where's my image? Oh, there it is, look. If you have door chains, I can't paste the image. If you have door chains, can't show the image because it's not. How do I open this image? Sure, I got the image somewhere here. Pictures. Hey, look at my thumbnails. Hey. Hold on, chat. Control window S. There he is. That's a good image. I always save that. Should always save the image. No joke. It's a nice image. Here you go. This image. If you had this kind of door setup, even if someone had the key to your house, like a family member or an ex or just anyone, they can't enter your house, even if they've got a key, because they have to go through a door chain, right? Or whatever other styles there are. Obviously, yeah, you know what I mean? And then also, it just depends on how the window's unlocked and locked, right? But it probably is your door first, because I don't think you can unlock a window from the outside, only from the inside, right? So how can you relock? So yeah, so it's either you or your door's not done properly, right? If you scan your whole house, you got to really check what kind of door you got, because if it happens a lot, it's a possibility that someone has the key to your house, or finding a way to unlock it, and you have no deadbolt or nothing, so they could just get in, right? Also, you would probably want to advise to install security cameras to your front door, right? So you can see who comes in and out. Maybe have some security cameras on the perimeter of your house as well. All right, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I'd wake up to the door being open. I even had called the non-emergency police line one day to have them look around and see if there was something I was missing, but the cops didn't see anything either. I don't think they looked all that hard though, and didn't take it too seriously, but I can't really blame them. So after those weeks and starting to get extreme paranoia living in my own home, I decided to buy a camera. A cheap, low-quality, off-brand security camera that I could plug in on the nightstand next to my bed and face at the bedroom door. It was kind of a last-ditch effort.
Last-ditch effort.
To figure this out before I'd take the drastic measures of packing up and moving out of there. After work one night, I unboxed it and set it up, making sure it worked and was facing the door. Then I turned the lights off in the house, closed and locked the door, got in bed, and fell asleep. At 1:46 a.m., I woke up. I felt more out of it than usual, but once I saw the camera next to the clock on my nightstand, it immediately reminded me, and I quickly looked over at the door. It was open. I didn't bother going around checking the house this time. I just quickly grabbed the SD card out of the camera, left my bedroom, and went to the office, plugging it into my laptop and checking the footage. I went back 2 hours. The door was still closed. I moved it to 1 hour back, and it was still closed. Then 30 minutes, 15 minutes, and eventually all the way to 2 minutes back. At 1:44 a.m., 2 minutes before I woke up, the door suddenly made a click sound and then slowly opened. For 30 seconds, it was just pitch dark, unable to see anything in the opening of the door. But then a figure moved into the room. A man, tall but fairly thin, wearing all dark.
Hey. If you got an SD card, where's the footage? Huh? Where's the footage at? Why can't you show me the footage, huh? How do I know it's real? Where is the footage, huh? Where is the footage? Huh? Where is the footage?
Dark clothing. He walked extremely slow and carefully, each step not making any noise, and went right up to my bed. He was inches away from me, and I was still sleeping, of course, no idea any of this was happening. It was the most disturbing, haunting thing I'd ever seen.
Okay, so where's the footage?
The man stayed there for 40 seconds, just looking at me, then slowly and silently walked back out of the room. Not even 20 seconds later, I woke up and the footage cut from me taking out the video card. The realization hit me that all this happened just minutes ago, meaning this guy was probably still inside the house with me.
Oh, GG. Yeah, probably should have swept the house first.
I ran back to the bedroom, got my phone, and called 911. I locked the door again, even though it clearly wasn't very helpful. But nothing happened while I waited. Police came and searched everywhere, with no traces of the man being found. If not for having the footage, they definitely would not have believed a word I said. I stayed in a hotel for the next few weeks while they did a big investigation, swabbing my house for any fingerprints or clues that they could work with. There wasn't anything, which means this guy was extremely cautious and careful, and horrifyingly good at what he did. Most likely, he picked the locks to my home every night.
What did I say? What the fuck did I literally told you guys. Look, if you had something like this, if they have a key to your house, but picklocking's still a thing. I forgot about it. Well, not forgot, but yes, picklocking is a thing. They could picklock your door and they could enter your door. Which is another reason why you need these. Guys, if you don't have this yet, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Didn't touch anything and didn't leave any traces behind. So the only thing to try and identify him with was the video, which was grainy, dark, and had no view of his face. It also didn't really explain any motives he had. The officers and investigators I talked to think this was just some very creepy man that didn't have much of a reason, which is usually the worst kind. Things usually escalate at some point, whether it's because I'd happen to wake up while he was still there, or whether he'd just decide to.
Yeah.
It's very unlikely things would have stayed this harmless.
Yeah, it would.
I use the word harmless very lightly, though.
Yeah, because like one day she's gonna like attack you.
Because this was far from being truly harmless. but physically, I never got hurt or anything.
Well, you could say that until they physically hurt you. So,
I only feel safe riding this because I've packed up my whole life and moved across the country, finally settling into my new place just a few weeks ago.
still, get a door lock.
And I really hope this helps someone else to not ignore any strange.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty sure that is it for now. It is 29:30. So, yeah, right. Cool. That was not too bad. I think you guys learned more lessons again. It's not bad, you know. 18, 23. Okay, that was not bad. That was not bad. It's not bad at all, right? Just always have a door lock on your door, and that should be fine. Security cameras as well, you know. But yeah, I mean, again, I've said this many times before, but look, if someone wanted to get you, they'll get you regardless. You can do as much prevention as possible, but if someone really wanted to get you, they'll get you. It is what it is. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate it, alright? See you guys next time. I don't think we'll be sleepy tomorrow because I did take a little... Taking a nap sucks. I don't like it. It's like I skipped some time. Alright, see you guys next time. Sun's still pretty terrible today. It's kind of unfortunate, but yeah. Alright, bye-bye.